afternoon, everybody, and how are you? My name's Iris Smith, and I'm the owner of a small business called The Flower Patch. And at The Flower Patch, I make beautiful artificial flower arrangements for all occasions. Welcome, guys. I hope you're having a wonderful day, whether you'll be crafting, visiting family, hopefully a good day at work, and anything else you may be doing. Right, I've got another order that I need to get completed today. So I've been doing other things. This was a late order, and the lady asked if I could get it done in time. I said yes. It won't take me long. The lady is requesting 2 identical, and I'm going to show you how I do identical arrangements, and they are for a graveside, just in a small pot. They don't want them in the graveside pots, they just want them in a round tray, and they want them to be identical. So I'm going to show you what I've got with one bunch. I've sorted them out into 2 separate bunches. So if I've got 5 roses on this side, I place 5 roses on this side. If I've got 3 ferns on this side, then the opposite side, the right side, will have three ferns. So that's what I've done. She wants it in oranges, and she sent me a picture of something I did for her last year, and she wants something else. But they have to be a specific measurement. The cemetery only allow a certain measurement where her loved ones are buried for these arrangements. So some are not so bothered, some they have the few rules and regulations on the size of arrangements you can place down once the person has been buried. So she wants them in oranges and on the picture it had a little bit of red in it as well. And I did on the last one, put some thistle or sea holly in it, but this time I'm going to put something different in purple. So what I'm going to show you is what I've got on the other pile as well. So I got out and cut out 3 of my cabbage roses in red. So we've got 3 on the one pile and 3 on the other. So we've got the cabbage roses in red, and in the purple, again, I may not use everything. I have, instead of the sea holly or thistle, I have got some purple Astilbe, but 5 stems of this instead, to give it just a little bit of a movement and something different. So we're going to use those. I've also got out, I may only use 1 bunch, but I've got 2 out to be on the safe side, of our white lavender. So they have got 5 stems on each bunch, but I have got the white lavender. I've also got some of these. I've only, I think, yes, there was only 4 on one bunch. I've cut them down, so I've got 4 on this side and 4 on the other side. So we've got these little white, and these are plastic as well. These are UV protected, with a few little swirls at the top and some little white dainty flowers. So we've got 4 of those. I've got in orange 1, 2, 3, 4 again of these hydrangeas with a little bit of fern and foliage and a wildflower on them as well. So in orange. So again, I've got 4 on the other pile. I have got some orange ranunculus, and I've got 6 of these on each pile. So we have got some orange ranunculus also. I have also placed in one bunch where it's got 5 stems on of our spray roses, our mini spray roses, again with a bit of foliage on and a tiny little bit of eucalyptus here as well. So we've got the spray, the two-tone, they're lighter on the outside and darker on the centre, and we've got those. I've also got out some ficus. I've got 2 stems. I'm not sure how much we're going to use of it, but this will be cut up quite smaller than I would if I placed it on a wreath. So we've got 2 stems of those in dark green. And I have 5 stems that I've cut off a bunch of our fern. So we've got fern, and they have 3 leaves on 1 stem. So we've got that as well. And then I have got this filler foliage. It doesn't state what it is. I'm not quite sure myself, but we've got the filler foliage where we can place in just as a smaller foliage than having longer foliage in with the arrangement, and with it being darker at the bottom of the leaf, and then it goes to a limey green at the top. So what I've just shown you here, I have got in this bunch as well. So I've placed a band around there to keep these ones together while I work. I've got 2 of the round flat trays, and I've placed in, now I usually place in dried foam, but this I've placed in is, if I show you, I've got one piece. It comes in long blocks, and it's more like thick polystyrene, or I'm not sure what it is, but I don't know if you can see. And I got this off a Temu. I spotted it and thought, well, this would be good for things, you know, outdoors, especially like in cemeteries where they are open, instead of the foam. If there does any water does get through the wreath wrap as I'm punching the flowers in, then this will not crumble or get wet. If it does get wet, nothing will happen to it. It is solid. It took me a while to cut through it, but I've cut through them, and these blocks are 16 inches long. So, and then they are 4 inches across here. So I've got those. They come in a pack of 6. So I've got those, and I thought, well, this is perfect to place in, and put wreath wrap around it, place some tape, as you can see, around the pot to hold the foam in. So I've done 2 because the lady is wanting 2. So we've got those. So what I tend to do is, now I'm going to bring the camera down and show you now how I make identical arrangements. So, one moment. So let's bring it down. I'm going to keep the camera there, guys, because with me doing 2, I want to try and get both of them in. So I've just sort through, and I have my florals, grab them all together. Place those there. And then my foliage. Like so. So I've placed my trays here. I've got one pile at the side of me of one. I'll take the band off the other pile that I sorted out and place that slightly a little bit further away so they don't get mixed up. So first of all, I do it where the longest piece is across, and I place them like that. I don't have it like that. When I'm doing them identical, I like them to be placed in the same position. So what I will do first on one, I will cut down the 3 sprigs off of this ficus, go to the other pile, cut the 3 sprigs off of this ficus. So I've got then the ficus on either side. So this one's for this pot, this side is for this pot. And again, they can only be no more than 12 inches. So if you have a mat like this, then place your pot in the center on 6 inch. So, and then you can see either side how far you can go out. So if I did it here, I placed this pot in the center here or there around the center on 6, and then there's 1 and there's 12, so you can see how far I can go out. But the lady did say between 10 and 12, so I know I've got 2 inches after 10 inch to play with. So I will get my snips and I will cut this longer piece now in half, because we are doing them in smaller proportions. So now what I'm going to do, again, keep it on 6 to start with until you've created your boundary, then you can see how far you can go. So 12. So I will go, and I've got my old puncher just in case. You can get these off Amazon, with the foam being a more tough to play with, in case I may need a bit of helping hand to punch an hole in. Then I will get the other one. Oops, I'm starting on the wrong side. And then I would do the same in each corner. And I'll just measure it. And then I will get that one. So then I'll get the bigger one, where I'll get 3 pieces off of it. Then I will form a triangle in the center. So I will go here, just slightly bend it. Then here. And then here. Again, I don't want it too high either. So that is then the first one with our boundary and also our ficus. So place that to one side and then grab the other one and do exactly the same with that. I'm going in at an angle and go through both on the four corners, and I'm going at the bottom. I don't want it on the top here in the corners. It's right at the bottom here. And I'm pushing them in as far as they will go. And again, form the triangle up above. So now they are both identical. So I will keep the ferns aside, the ficus aside for now. Ferns. Let's grab the ferns. Make sure I've not missed any. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 on that side. And grab the 5 ferns off of this bunch pile, should I say. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I bring them both either side again. And then I do the same. Place them both in the same place. I'm bending these slightly over to give that movement. But because these stick out quite far, then I will bring these up above, because I don't want them sticking out too far. Again, we're limited with our space, or should I say how much we can go outwards. Just wipe any glue off. Try to cut the stems quite short on these. Just cut that bit off. And then this one will sit in the center. Again, I don't want it too high. So I'll push this one down quite right as far as it will go. So that's what we've done on this one. So then we do the same again. So it's basically all you're doing is doing it one at a time, placing in like I have with the fern here on one, then swapping to the opposite tray and placing them in the exact same position. Oops, let's get the glue. Obviously, we may be at, if you want to be really technical, you can measure how far you've come out from the side and do it like that. And then place it in. Or you can do it by eye view. And then one in the center as far as it will go. So now we've placed in our fern. Now I want to place in, before we carry on, our 3 red cabbage roses, and I want these in a triangular position. Excuse me, I've got a bit of a dry throat. So bring them both in for when you start to use them. So I want to bring something, lean it here, just going out again. I don't want it too far out because we are restricted. Just bending the head slightly. So we've placed those in there. I'm keeping the trays with the longest side still facing forward. So we'll do the same. And then we have that one as well. And that is all you keep doing, guys, swapping from one side to the other. I may place those in at a later stage. I'm going to get now our Ranunculus. So we've got 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on one side. And 6 on another. So now with these, I want one in the center. Let's see if we've got quite. Let's put that pretty one in I'm not going to cut this because I just want it slightly higher than the cabbage roses, not too much. I'll get one. Now with this, I'm going in, I'm doing one side, because as it gets more full, I want to make sure that I don't forget where I'm placing them. So now I'm going to place one here in between the roses. Or do I? No, in fact I will. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I will place them in between the roses as we are going around. But I'm going to bring them further down, just slightly below the roses. So if you can see, it's below, so it's like I'm forming the triangle with the cabbage roses and the ranunculus. So I would do that on the opposite side as well. And we'll get another one, go in between the other rows, around here. So we place that there, again forming that triangle. And then we'll go in between these two roses. So then we've done that one, and now we will go in between those two on this side. And then we formed the same on either side. So now I've got 2 left. So what I'm going to do with these, I'm going to bring these, I can either bring them low down or form a triangle at the top. But because I've placed one in the center, I don't want to form that triangle at the top. So or I could bring them again right at the bottom here or on the side here. So let me just have a look which I think or looks better. Or I could even place them on, I'm going to place them on the corner, but right at the bottom. So, and I'm going to place one, and it's going to be shorter because I don't want it protruding out. So it's right at the bottom, right on the corner. So I'm going to place now this one opposite, right under here on the corner. And don't worry that there's going to be another one above it, because you will be placing other things in there. To part it from each other, and hence the reason it's going in a little bit further and deeper, like that. So we'll do the same with these. We'll go right here with this one, and then turn it around and place it diagonally. A little bit further in. So now the both are exactly the same. So we then move on. So let's think, do I place in, I may place in the spray roses. So let's cut all of these up. Grab the spray roses from here. And with these having their own little bit of foliage, I want to dot these around. The lady, again, didn't want a lot of red. Her main colour scheme was orange. I did do a double one last year, which was in blue, which was really pretty. So with this one, 1, 2, 3, 4. This one I'm going to go in between the two cabbage roses at the top. And I'll grab another one and do the same thing. Thanks, Fern.
Welcome.
And I will go in between these two roses, cabbage roses, should I say, at the top. And again, at the top is always slightly sticking out more than the bottom. The bottom goes in, and that's how you create your dome. I'm just cutting it shorter, the stem, and then I place this one in here. So we've got it like that on the top now. So let's place it the correct way. And where we placed our peonies, ranunculus on the bottom here, and then opposite, we are now going to place in these spray roses in the other two corners opposite from each other. So let's just cut that one a bit shorter. So I will now go in again, push it in a little bit further because it doesn't want to be sticking out too far. So I've placed that. So you see the ranunculus, then the spray rose, then the ranunculus. These are in the corner, and then we're going to place in the other spray rose. so we have that one in that corner, which is opposite to this one. So then we grab these and do exactly the same with these. We'll form our triangle in between the red roses, the cabbage roses. I'm peeling the plastic off, guys, because when you cut them off, you get a bit of thicker plastic at the bottom, and I tend to peel that off. It's just something I do. I don't, some people leave it on. I'm not a fan of it. It's not that it does anything different to your arrangement. I just, for some reason, don't like it. So that's that one. So now these other two go at the bottom. Now I'm going opposite in the diagonal position. Going shorter, pushing it in a little bit longer. Let's grab that glue. So now we have that. If I feel that the ficus is slightly too long, I feel that that one is, so I will just chop that leaf off. Let's turn it around. No, that's fine. So I think that one looks a little long there. So now we have our arrangement, both I think in the looking the same and identical. So now I want to get our Astilbe. So let's get the Astilbe for the other one. And again, that's all you do, guys, is have them in front of you, keep them both positioned in the correct way. Now the Astilbe, I've got 5. I wanted to put 4 around the bottom, and I may place one in the center. So let's do the center one first. And because it's got 3 Astilbes on one stem, I will place it and then get this Ranunculus in the center, so it looks like the Astilbe is growing around it. So I'll place it exactly right next to the Ranunculus, and then I will just move the sprigs around in like a triangular shape. And I've done that one on there, so I'm going to do the same on the opposite side. Again, place it right next to the Ranunculus and position it like that. I've got glue wrapped around my fingers. So that's the one where I'm doing with that, and the other 4 are going down the bottom, and I'm going to place them there where you see the gap. So in the center, along here, there, 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 and then there. And I'm going to do that on both of them. So I'm going to cut the stem short because these are pointed and quite long. So we're going to push that in. I don't want again this sticking out too much, so I'm cutting the stem so it's around 2.5 inches. So it's giving me enough to push it inside, and I'm going as far as it will go, and then just spreading this Astilbe so it's not compact. Let's get the glue. And you do this, it's the same principle when you're doing a hanging basket or 2 table arrangements or anything where you're doing 2 identical things. It's the same process where you have 2 piles of floral and foliage of the same. So now we've got the Astilbe on the bottom on this one. So we will do the same with this. Let's cut these all down. And we'll do the same. And by spreading your foliage or floral, or even this is like a Astilbe, it's covering up a little bit more of your foam than if you would just leave it like so. I tend to do it so it's like that and spread the leaves at the bottom as much as I can. So again, there we have both of them with everything in the same place. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me take that tag off. I'm just going to grab my coffee, guys, because my husband's bought me coffee in. Isn't he good? Right, I'm going to get the white. And again, I've got 2 bunches of this lavender. So let's first of all cut 5 off. Again, I'm adding a little bit of white just to give it that little bit of pop. They're not push-ups, guys, and I'm on the top. I'm not going to cut them down. With the other bunch, if I bring them down the bottom, because you can see they are slightly long, and this is our boundary, so I may have to cut them down so they just stick out a little bit like so. So that's the reason I've got two bunches, because I knew that these are not push-ups. So now I'm going at the top with one, and I'm just having it slightly popping up, and I'm going in between the red roses again on top. Just add that nice little texture. Just cut that plastic off. So I've done that with that one. So I will get the other side. And I will do the same. Just manipulate your stems a little bit. Oh, I've got a fly in here. So again, same again, looking at it from the top, the white lavender is positioned in the same place. Now I've got two left from the bunch. I could, because we've got this here, I could break that up, put one there, or I could place it here on each of the corners. I think that would be better if I placed them there. So again, I'm cutting the stem shorter now, because as you go down, the stems are shorter. So we just do that one. And I'm doing these on the smaller side of the foam. So that's that one. Again, copy what you do. And I will do this. Let's have a look for the shorter side. Place one here. And then one just on this side. So now we have that as well. So again, that's looking pretty. I'm going to hang on to these because I have these. They may look nice at the bottom, so we're going to hang back a little bit. So I'm going to place in now my hydrangeas and put those in. As well. So we've got 4 of these, and I want to place these under the purple because it's long and thin. I want a little floral just to sit underneath, because we've got all the florals on top and just the odd ones around the side, but there's nothing right at the bottom. So we're going underneath the purples with these. So we're going to cut the stems on these. Again, quite short, because I don't want these particularly long. So let's get these placed under our Astilbe, just to give that pop of orange at the bottom. Let's get the glue. So now we've got that one done. We'll mimic the same thing and do it on the opposite side. So you may think it can be quite, oh gosh, you know, doing one, placing something in one and then going to the other one and placing it in the other one. But I'd rather do it like that, because then I know it will be identical. I have seen some people do it where they do one first, finish it, and then go on to do the other one. And no disrespect, it doesn't always, I'm not saying it doesn't, but there's, you know, it doesn't always look identical. So I would rather do it like this, so then I know it's all placed in. Now the floral and foliage are all in the same place, give or take a few millimeters. I don't mean the exact measurements. Got something there. I've got glue spread right across me. So now we have our little hydrangea underneath there. So again, let me make sure I've got them in the exact place to where I've got the spray rose here. That's on the short side. So here I've got the ranunculus on this corner, like that. So they are like so. So let's get, Let's get the white little swirly bits. I may need to go and get a little bit more foliage. Some filler foliage, you know, maybe like my salal or coleus, you know, or sage leaves, something with a bigger, more of a solid leaf. Well, not more, but slightly bigger than the ficus. Let's take that off. So let's have a look what I'm going to do with these. Right, I'm going to place these on each corner around the bottom. And I'm placing them on the bottom because we've got the white lavender on the top with the white tips. So I don't want to sort of like place them in and they clash. So I'm bringing these down and placing them on the corners of the arrangements. I'm going to cut these down small as well. So if I just, and they all push up, so I'll push them right to the top. Make sure that one's up. So right on the corners we go with these. Let's push those in so they can't go anymore. So we've got that just like that there. Go to the next corner, grab another one and place it in the same place. If it's easier for you, turn it in your hand, or if you have a lazy Susan, I do have a lazy Susan, but I haven't got it out. So that one is there. Do the same with this one. Let's just push them all up. You don't have to push them up if you don't, you know, wish. I just push them up, so especially when they're around at the bottom, so you see them more, and plus there's a cluster, and plus they will cover more of your foam than just having them where they are spread down the stem. So now we'll do the same on here. Let me just move that there, guys, because I'm getting a little glue on it and I don't want to keep doing that. So there we have that, and that's what they look like from the top, if I grab the other one, so they're both like so. Don't they look pretty? Right, I do have this filler foliage. I'm not going to put any more of the lavender in, so I'll place that there. I've got 2 stems of the ficus left. I'm not going to put those in. I'm going to excuse me, I'm just going to grab something slightly bigger. I have actually, I've got the Shakibi leaves that I placed on single picks. I could place those in. I do have some sage leaves that I placed on single picks as well. So we'll have a look. I've got these left that I placed, the Shakibi leaves, I placed on single picks. So I could add those in for a darker tone of green. And then I've got the total opposite, a very pale green sage leaves that I placed on single picks as well. So we'll first add in the Shakibi leaves. Now this is how I sorted out, I just moved those to the one side, how I sort things out. Now that's quite small, so one on one side, one on another. There's a big one, there's a big one. These two, and if you're not sure if they are the same, just place them on top. Those two meet exact, so I split them. And again, I'm not saying I'm going to place all of these in. That's just a small one. Oh, I've only got one of those. Oh no, I've got 2 of those. So they can have one each. So all these are the same size. So everything now is equal. So they've got the equal amount of stems for each one, and also the exact stems for each one. The same size. So we'll bring the flowers back. And what I'm going to want to do with these is place them in and around as more solid leaf, some at the top, some around the bottom. How many have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm going to place this one because there's only one of these in each pile. So we're going to place this near the top. So we'll put that just in there, like so. Grab the other one. And do the same. And just place it there. So I'm going to form a triangle around the top here. So I want 3 of the same size. You don't have to have 3 of the same size, but me being me, I'm just a little fussy like that. So I'm going in between. They're not right at the top. So that's one. Do the same. So we've got the 3 at the top as well. So I'm going to 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just get 4 to start with. Now I'm bringing these right to the bottom, so I'm going to cut them shorter. 3. Let's get those cut as well. So with these, again, I'm going near the corner. So I've placed it there. The corner is here where the ranunculus is, just placing it before it. And I'll do that before the hydrangea on the opposite, you know, across here. Just place it before the corner. So that's 1. And do the same on the opposite side. See where the corner is. And I've got a big gap there, so have I got the same gap? I have, yeah. So I'm going to use the bigger one. Place that there. Excuse me. Just checking that they're both in the correct position. Yeah. It's that way, like so. Right, so now I have our sage leaves. I've got quite a few of these on picks. Oh. I'm not going to probably, I won't use them all, but I'm going to get all the ones out as much as I can grab that are on picks. I'll just place those there. Now let's get these in. Our filler foliage. That's one for one side. And one for another. Let me just grab my drink, guys. These are not push-ups either, so I may cut these. Right, so what I'm going to do, let's just see how many I'd like up at the top. 1, 2, I have some more of this, I think. I'm just going to place these here because I need to fill in the foam so it's not visible. Let me just see. Did I bring it out? Yes, I've got some here, some extra I've got on the floor. Let's just take this stem off. Pull the tag off. So 1, 2, and then cut another 2 there. And then I'm going to use, cut these in half, like that. I've got little bits here, 1, 2 for that side, 2 for that side. So I'm cutting them all up so they're all equal again. So let me bring this one in. So I've got 1 here, 1 around there, and then 1 around there. They won't be that height. What I'm doing is placing them. Now I've got 1, 2, 3, and then I've got 4 ones that then can go and either be chopped up or go on this, you know, the second level down or lay down around here. And then these little small ones that I've got, I could place those around. I thought I had, oh, it's there too. Or I may place 2 around the second level and then use another 2 of these and then chop them up to go around the bottom. So first of all, I'm going to place these in, push them down again so it's not sticking up so much. Like so. What was the daisy? Right. Bit of glue. Place the other one in here. So I've got our filler foliage at the top. So I will now do exactly the same on this side. Oops. And then another one. Around there. So as you can see, it's lovely and full on top. So now I'm going to work around the midsection. So I've only got 3. I should have 1, 2, yeah, 3, and then 2 small pieces. So I will put 2 pieces around the midsection on each side, and then I will chop the other bits up into smaller pieces to go along the bottom. So let's have a look where that's quite full. Around there. In fact, do it in the corners instead, in between the ones above, just to balance it out. So I will go in the opposite direction over here and place this one in here. And I will do the same on the opposite side. So that's above the ranunculus. Right. And as you notice, I'm still looking where I'm placing them. So that's above the ranunculus there, and that there. So that's correct. So sorry about the noise, guys. That's my husband. He's watering the plants. Let me just pull that out a moment. The stem is slightly too long. I don't want it. And then place it back in. For that ranunculus, let's have a look. it's that one. Bring that there. Then go opposite to this side. Oh, so I was in the right place. And then bring that there. Right, so now I will chop this piece up to make it 4 pieces. Do the same with this. So then I've got equal amounts. And now I will just lift up, and because I've gone in this corner here, I will go at the bottom either side of this hydrangea. A little stem there. So I brought that down here with that little hydrangea, and I'll do the same. Oops, a daisy, just knocked it over with this hydrangea here. Oh, that's not going in. So let me just cut that a little bit. There we have it. And then I will now go opposite with the other 2 pieces. And I will do that. So I will turn it around like that and do the same down here. So 1 piece. So it can, you know, if you're not used to doing these, I mean, off camera I would be doing it much quicker, but I want to show you step by step how to do it. Turn it around so you can get an idea. Again, if you've got your own way of doing it, if you already do these, you know, of doing 2 identical ones, and it's different to mine, then don't worry. Nobody's has got the wrong way. Wouldn't, you know, everybody has their own way of doing things. There's a leaf in the way. There we have it. So that's now our filler foliage in. And again, I have my sage leaves, and I can still see a few gaps. If you want, you can add in, you know, the extra floral. By looking at it, I think that's more than enough in the orange. So what I'm going to do, let's count either side. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got more, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, This is just in case I may need any more. And there's another 5 each there. So now what I'm going to do with these, and the only thing on these now I'm placing in that isn't identical will probably be the sage leaves, because now I'm using the sage leaves as my filler foliage to hide any foam that I may see. So that would be the only unidentical element in this arrangement. So let's start and just cut some down around that height. For those, and if I need them shorter, I will. Oops a daisy. And if I need the odd ones longer, to go near the top, I've got some long ones. In fact, let's put 5 of the long ones on each side as well. So now I don't need to be copying what I'm doing from one side to the other. This is now where I just place them in if I can see a gap. So I can see one there. So I've covered that like that. And that's all I'm going to do around the arrangement now, is fill in any gaps that may be seen. Because I don't want the customer being able to see gaps either. That. So now I've gone all the way around, and this is mainly on the midsection that I've gone. Why can't I get that one in? Let me just snip that plastic off. So as you can see, that is around the midsection. I've got one smaller one there, and if I need it longer, I'll place a pick on it. So I'm going to place, just bring some up above. And I'm going to bring 3, just 3. There's not really a gap, but I'm just going to bring them up above. So I've done that now at the top. So I will go around the bottom again if I need any more. I will use more. I keep getting glue following me from the pan. I think it's on my sleeve. Let's just put that one a little bit. So let me just have a look. Right, there's one space there. I may place them in 4 corners, so I'll have to get another one. Just borrow one off of here. Place that one. There. So that one is now finished. So that's that one. So so now let's do this one. I'll place 3 up above. Let's get the glue. Glue pans are really not good to have, but they do have lots of glue strings. So I think with glue gun you have got more control, but I just prefer the glue pan. Because of all the work, and with a glue gun I'd be constantly placing glue sticks in. That's the only reason I use a glue pan. So I've done the ones up above there. So let's go around the midsection now. You can see a gap there. Sorry if the video is taking long, guys. I just, as I stated, I just want to, I don't think I've done a video where I've done 2 identical arrangements, but when I knew I'd got to get this done for a customer, and I thought, why not? I'll show, you know, your beginners or you are people who have not yet tried doing a graveside arrangement, or not, haven't tried doing the identical ones, how easy it is. And that may inspire you to actually give it a go in whichever colour that you desire. So I'm going to put these now along the bottom, just cut these a little bit shorter. So in all four corners. Oops. Let's look for the corners. Let's get that glue, what's hanging. So one here. And it's not just about covering the gaps up above. I make sure that I can get to cover the gaps down below as well. Put that back where that belongs. Squashed it a little. Oh, I've placed one there. Silly me. And then one more. So there we have it. So I don't need no more of those. So that is our project for today. Let's get these right where they're sitting. I think it's that way. I'm just trying to make sure they're both, yeah. Or is it that way? Is it that way? Let's have a look. Right, no, that's right. So I've just made sure I've just got them both in the same position for you. So from the top, I just lean them down. That is what you're looking at. And they're both identical. And that is how you do identical arrangements, whether it be for a wedding, funeral, you know, like these, the graveside arrangements, a dinner, you know, dining room table, you know, if you're having a dinner party. Or setting any table out for any event, and you know, it's this, or hanging baskets, or two plant pot arrangements, or two arrangements either side of your front door. It's the same principle, you know. You just have the same amount of floral out for each arrangement. Again, 5 roses this side, 5 roses that side. You know, 5 Astilbe here, 5 Astilbe here. So you have to give the same amount for each arrangement and then take it step by step. Again, I do it that way, so then I know that everything is identical as placed in. Again, I've seen some people where they just do one and then move on to the other. But not all the time is it placed, you know, identical. I have seen them before, people who I've worked with before. Once they've done one, they're looking and they're disturbing the arrangement to find out where they've actually placed something. And it seems to take longer because you're searching whereabouts, you know, you've placed it. And I find that's more time consuming. So if you just do, you know, like I did here, then move, you know, go there, you do the, you know, the ficus here, you move on and do the ficus here. You do the fern here, you do the fern there. You know, I don't do a complete one and then move on to the opposite. And that's just how I get it identical for somebody who is requesting an identical arrangement. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys. Again, this is for a customer. I will, again, treat this, even though it is, you know, it is going out and in the open. Some of these are silk, some of them are already UV protected. So I will spray it with antibacterial spray. Once that's dried, then I will spray UV protection on top of it. I'll give it especially when it comes to cemeteries or out in, you know, on the graveside, I give it a double spray of UV protection. So once it's dried with the first spray, then I go and do it again and give it double protection. And then once that's done, then I will spray it with essence oil. So that was our project today, guys. I hope you liked it. Let me just bring up our camera. Again, it may have been a longer video, but let's just bring up the camera. The store. Let's just grab them. Oh, they match with the top, orange. I never thought of that. So we have 2 identical arrangements. So I hope that has given you an idea on how to do identical arrangements. Again, in whatever you may be creating. Again, as I stated, hanging basket, you know, planters, wedding table arrangements, whichever, guys. It's same if you had a wedding arrangement and you had 10 tables, I would have 10 arrangements in front of me with all the flowers equally, what each other needs exact, and I would do the same principle but with 10 arrangements. So this is 2. Again, I will take a photograph. I do send it to the customer and ask her if there's anything else that she requests or would like to be placed in it. And if she's, you know, the lady says no, then, you know, fantastic. If she would ask for some, you know, an extra type of floral in it, then I would arrange, I wouldn't take it apart. I would look and stand above it and see where I could place extra floral. But I would do it again the exact same way I've done it in one. I would mimic the same way in the opposite and place it in the same place. So I hope that gives you, you know, a bit, inspires you to think, oh, I think I'm going to have a go at that. I think I'm going to try and do a double, you know, identical arrangement. And whether it be for in your house and you've got a window in your living room here, and a bit further down on the same wall, you've got another window. So you want 2 identical window arrangements. Give it a go. Give it a go. You know, if you're just starting out with it, this is very good as a starter thing. You may think it's not, but it is, because you can take your time. I always say to people, you know, people I've taught, take your time. By rushing, there's no thought going into it. You know, there's no imagination. There's, you know, anything. I don't think that's the right word. But there's not really any thought. It's just, oh, speed. That goes there. That goes there. That goes there. Take your time. Look at it as you're going around. Check that it's looking balanced. Check that it's also, you know, you've got everything placed equally. If there's any gaps, if you may need something else to add to it, instead of just like I've done this and think, oh, well, I can see a gap, but I don't need nothing else. You know, check for gaps. You may need a little bit more foliage. You may need to add a little bit more floral. Now, I've got the orange in and I've got quite a bit of orange in, but I wanted foliage as well, quite a bit of foliage, and I just added 3 pieces of red just to give it a, you know, instead of it just being plain orange. And I think they look quite pretty, and you know, they will sit lovely at the graveside for the lady's loved one. So again, please subscribe, share and like, guys, you know, to the world, to everybody who you know, bring them along, come and join us. Hopefully it inspires them to grab some more artificial flowers and have a go. If you haven't got these plastic trays, don't worry, guys. If you've got a container that's quite flat, put the foam on the container, put some tape around it and to hold it on the container. That's just as good. Or if you want to put it in a plant pot, you know, it's still the same process. Instead of having a tray, put your foam in the plant pot and do the same process with placing your floral and foliage. It's just, you've just got a different container, but it's still, you know, you still do the same thing. So again, give it a go, whatever colour you desire. And again, whatever it may be for, it doesn't have to be for a graveside. You can have it for your home, outside on your wonderful gardens as you're sunning it, having a nice beer or a gin and tea or a cup of coffee like I would, and a cup of tea, whichever, and a few biscuits, cake, or just having your friend round and just for a nice chat and just have something sat there looking beautiful. So I hope again you give it a go. Take care, guys. God bless. I love you all. Keep your comments coming, and again, give it a go. And please press that subscribe button. It really does help, and I really am immensely grateful for all your comments. It really does mean a lot. So have a wonderful day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now. Bye-bye. So let's just see if I can get this off without any it falling off. Oh gosh, I've got all my cable wrapped around it, guys. Let's just, oh, it's not focusing again. Let's sort it. There we have it. So there's the Ranunculus, and then there's our seeded Astilbe. Isn't that pretty? There's our sage leaf, our Shakibi leaf as well, our white lavender, our fill of foliage. It looks like mini boxwood. Our little rose spray here. What else? Oh, yeah, I can't forget these. Can I? Cabbage roses, beautiful red cabbage roses. Our fern as well. And down here are lovely little white flowers with the swirly bits on. And our hydrangeas under there. And obviously, of course, our ficus. So, again, I hope you enjoyed that, guys. And I hope you give it a go. Take care. Have a wonderful day. I love you all. Bye-bye for now. Bye.